Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm your host, Roger Stone, sitting in for Alex Jones. When I was in the UK, there was a lot of discussion about the delays in the effectuating of the Brexit decision by the people of that country. Now we see advocates for Brexit, members of parliament who supported it, being subjected to an unprecedented number of death threats. This is not unlike what has now happened today, where Donald Trump Jr., who is very clearly emerging as an important spokesman for the Trump reform movement. His tweets are really outstanding. He is not fettered by the White House staff, can say what he really thinks. We know that he is a regular watcher of InfoWars and that he takes alternative conservative media links and puts them out there for the legions of the president's supporters to see and to circulate. Now, it is extraordinary that his daughter, Vanessa, his eldest child, had to be taken or was taken to a Manhattan hospital as a precaution after she received an envelope of some kind of white powder, clearly meant as some type of threat. This is the tolerance of the liberals. This is the mindset of the increasingly violent left. The same people who are threatening members of parliament over Brexit are the people sending this kind of garbage through the mail. I don't mean literally, but it is interesting because, and Alex Jones pointed this out to me, the Brexit vote is the same populist uprising that elected Donald Trump. It's the same populist uprising we see across Europe. It is a rejection of globalism. It is a rejection of the surrender of the sovereignty of free people everywhere. And it is extraordinary that the left has two tactics: censorship and threats. They can't win a debate. Rush Limbaugh was absolutely right the other day when he said that there's a major effort on the tech left to limit InfoWars and the other alternative media sites. But more precisely, this very cabal, this kind of thinking, has surrounded the president. Now, when I was in Florida for these terrific speeches in Naples and Tallahassee and so on, a lot of Trump supporters were scratching their heads about exactly what's going on with General John Kelly and the White House staff and, of course, the Rob Porter scandal. And we can report exclusively that General Kelly was grooming Rob Porter, to be the incoming White House chief of staff. You see, General Kelly believes that he is going to go over to run the Department of Defense and that General Mattis will not fill out the term. And Porter was being groomed. This is why I believe that General Kelly overlooked credible reports of spousal abuse by Mr. Porter. Now, we also exclusively reported here at InfoWars that the president felt out Thomas J. Barrick Jr. of Colony Capital, a Los Angeles real estate opportunity fund, literally the president's closest personal friend, a peer, and there are very few, a man of enormous capability, a man who the president trusts, and he has declined the chief of staff job. But just the fact that the president is feeling people out tells me that General Kelly is on the skids. Now, there is there's no rejoicing over this fact because, unfortunately, General Kelly and Rob Porter and, sadly, Hope Hicks, who I think is a good person and a Trump loyalist, have been in the forefront of those keeping the InfoWars from the president, keeping Breitbart, the Daily Caller, Rush Limbaugh. The president is not getting this news. Instead, he's getting Politico and the New York Times. They have done the president a disservice because the movement that elected Donald Trump had its vibrant message in the alternative media. It is only the technological advances that mean that a majority of Americans are getting their news from the internet. And therefore, you've had the rise of a robust and vibrant alternative media, so that when the mainstream media, the three major networks, ABC, NBC, and CBS, and the two cable news networks, started trashing Donald Trump, started being a de facto advertising for the Clinton campaign, there were alternative sources of information, InfoWars being among the leaders. It is only because of that we were able to pull off, and Donald Trump has said it several times, it wasn't his victory, it was the people's victory, the greatest upset in American history. Now, it is vital, in my opinion, that the president's next chief of staff and his next communications director keep him apprised of the alternative media, of the conservative alternative media. We're carrying the banner for the Trump administration. Alex Jones has had the president's back every step of the way. When others who were faint of heart flipped out over the NBC Billy Bush revelations, Alex Jones never blinked. Either did the folks here at InfoWars. We've got the president's back, and I know that he knows that. But we're doing so many good investigative reports here. We are really breaking it down for the activists so that they can retweet it. It's important that the president knows what we're doing, because those things have a habit of ending up in his Twitter feed. And no, he's not going to give up his Twitter feed. It's interesting that the General Kelly's never been able to get control of the president's Twitter feed. That's because the president jealously guards it. He likes it. In fact, I think he loves it. And it allows him to communicate directly with the American people, unfiltered. Now, I've said in 100 speeches that no one puts words in Donald Trump's mouth. No one puts ideas in his head. He's his own strategist. He's his own phrase maker. He's his own tweet master. He's his own press secretary. And he's a genius. He understands the news cycle like few others. And if you want the unalloyed, absolute, undiluted Donald Trump, well, then just follow his Twitter feed. He destroys the left. He used to do it in 140 characters. Now he's got a few characters more. It is essential that, in my opinion, there be a house cleaning, that General Kelly go on to serve the administration in some other capacity. He's done some great things, taking on the Congresswoman from Florida, for example, on the immigration issue. But I don't think he's serving the president well when he blocks him from information that he must have to win the greater fight. Now, there's talk of alternatives. Congressman Kevin McCarthy is a name that comes up. Newt Gingrich. I don't think any of those people will be the president's next chief of staff. And we'll keep you posted here at InfoWars on exactly what's going on.